In this English lesson, I wanted to help you learn the English phrase to stay put. When you stay put, it means you stay in one location and you don't move. I'm using this phrase because I heard it while I was watching the news last night. They said that the truckers in Ottawa are going to stay put until their demands are met. So you could just use the verb stay, like you could say they're going to stay until their demands are met. But when you say stay put, it emphasizes the meaning just a little bit more. Sometimes when you have little children or pets, you want them to stay put while you do something. You don't want them to crawl around or move, or in the case of an animal, interfere with what you're doing. So you're like, you just need to stay put. Sometimes I say that to Oscar. I'll say, Oscar, just stay put for a minute. I'm going to get you a treat. So to stay put means to just stay in one location. The other verb or phrase I wanted to teach you today is the verb to stay over. Now this simply means to sleep at someone's house. Sometimes our kids will go visit a friend and sometimes they will stay over. That means they're going to sleep at their friend's house. Jen's parents actually live far away, and sometimes when we drive there, it's such a long distance that we might stay over. So when you stay over, it simply means that you sleep at someone's house for the night. Sorry, it's a little windy out here and it's a bit distracting, but let's review. To stay put means to stay in one spot and to not move, and to stay over means to sleep at someone's house for a night. Like, it's been a while actually. We haven't stayed over at Jen's parents' place for a while, mostly because of COVID. When we visit, it's usually really quick and we usually stay outside. Anyways, let's look at a comment from a previous video. This comment is from Mohammed. Thank you, Teacher Bob, for the videos. I have a question. Where do you collect the phrases from? And I responded by saying this: I listen throughout the day, and when I hear someone use a phrase, I make a mental note to create a lesson about it. I usually then search for another phrase that uses a similar word. And you'll notice that today, right? I taught the phrase to stay put, and then I look for another phrase with the word stay in it or the word put, just so that you have a little bit of connection between the two. But thanks, Mohammed, for that comment. Yes, I do teach English lessons that are very, very relevant, if I do say so myself. I am on the lookout all day when I have conversations with other people, when I watch the news. Whoa, I'm falling in the snow again. When I watch the news, when I hear students talking or colleagues talking, when I hear a unique English phrase, I usually take a moment to use the phrase from yesterday. I take a moment to make a mental note. Sometimes I actually do write it down though, or I email myself. Do you ever do that to remind yourself of something? Email yourself. And then I will make a little lesson on it. And then I do usually look for another phrase that is somewhat related, either using the same words or maybe even has a similar meaning or connection. So anyways, if you're wondering why I'm hiding all the time by buildings when I make my videos lately, I don't know if you've noticed that, it's because it's super windy out. Maybe you can't quite see it. Maybe you can hear it a little bit. But when I walk out into the wind, it tends to make the audio really, really bad. So now I'm in the wind. You can't see my hair blowing because, well, I'm not going to mention. I have short hair now for a reason, but I think I mentioned that too many times in the last video. Let me get back here where I am sheltered from the wind. It's been really windy lately. In fact, today it's going to go up to 10 degrees. Everything's going to melt. And then tomorrow it's going down to -10 and we're having a snowstorm. That's the way the weather is. Bye.